Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Only Leedsbros for player ratings. This time, Leeds United versus Harrogate Town. Leeds United ran out 1-0 winners thanks to a headed goal from Largie Ramazani. Brilliant bit of work from Manor Solomon down the left-hand side. Great ball into the box and lovely little header from Largie Ramazani was enough to give Leeds United the win and progress through to the fourth round of the FA Cup, where Millwall or Dagenham and Redbridge wait for us in the fourth round. And a home draw as well, lads. How often do we say that in the FA Cup? Do Leeds United get home draws? Not very often, so we will take it. Yeah, look, I'm happy with Leeds United getting an FA Cup run. I know there's some people out there, the rhetoric on social media is very much like we should just go out and concentrate on the league. To be honest with you, I'm one of them. I like the magic of the FA Cup. You're seeing Tamworth as well, very nearly bringing Spurs all the way. They should have had a replay back at the Spurs ground, and I just love that kind of David versus Goliath feeling where anyone could beat anyone. And I'd love a cup run. I really would. In my lifetime supporting Leeds United, we've never really had that. We've had cup upsets to and from us. Obviously, Scum in the FA Cup, but then you have the likes of Histon and Crawley beating us as well. And I just love it. I love the magic of the FA Cup, and I'd love to see Leeds United play an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. I just think that would be unbelievable. Once it doesn't affect our league form, I'm happy enough with that. I know there's some people out there going, no, look, let's just get out of the cup and concentrate in the league. And I do understand that as well. But me personally, myself, I'd love a nice cup run. And Daniel Farke does seem to put a little bit of weight on the cup games, which is great to see for me, and a chance to see other players play as well. So yeah, for me, yeah, I'm happy all round. And I know it should have been a little bit more against Harrogate Town, but at the end of the day, look, a win is a win. So we'll get into it, lads. The man between the six, Karl Darlow. I think we were all very eager to see him, what type of performance he was going to put in. Elan Millier did drop down to the bench. For me personally, I thought he shouldn't have been anywhere near the matchday squad. It would have been the bigger thing for Daniel Farke just to say, no, look, just take a little bit of time away. Name Alex Kearns on the bench. If you could only imagine if something did happen to Karl Darlow, if he did get an injury or sent off or whatever would happen, you would have to see Elan Millier come on. I just thought it might have been a little bit too early after the whole game. So for me, Daniel Farke, he should have just left Elan Millier home and gave him a well-deserved and a well-needed rest for me to kind of recuperate and, build his confidence back up. But yeah, going back to Darlow, I actually thought he did very well in nets. There was one kind of bit of a hairy moment where he came out for a corner and dropped it, and everyone was kind of up in arms about it. But for me, Elan Millier, he comes and he just tries to punch that. He could flap at it, he could get a connection on it. At least Darlow came to try and take the pressure off his team and actually catch the ball. Other than that, I thought he was really, really good. I thought his distribution was good. When called upon, his shot stopping was good as well. And yeah, all around, I thought it was a really, really good game for Karl Darlow. In normal circumstances, is it enough to start against Sheffield Wednesday if what happened to Elan Millier didn't happen? Probably not. But I just think you just want the basics. We've already spoke about it. Leeds don't really concede many shots against us. And you just need the basics, the catching, the kicking, the distribution and stuff like that. So I think he's done more than enough for me to warrant to start against Sheffield Wednesday. Will Daniel Farke do it? I don't think so. But it is personally, I'd like to see Karl Darlow between the sticks. So I went to 7 out of 10 for Karl Darlow. Again, thought it was a good performance for him. And I would like to see him get Sheffield Wednesday. But look, we will see into next week what happens with that one. Moving on to right back, Isaac Smith. And hallelujah, eventually, lads, we got to see Isaac Smith playing a little bit of football. Some people were saying that he was just average. He was okay. Other people saying that he was outstanding. I'm kind of falling in the middle in between that. I thought he was okay. I thought he did decent enough. He's very different fullback from what we get from Jaden Bogle, very different from what we get from Firpo and Sam Byram. But yeah, I thought he did okay. He kept going the whole match. He looked good when he was on the ball. He just played the simple passes, didn't try anything kind of erotic, anything kind of outstanding. He got forward as well to build up the play, to be an option on the overlap as well. I went to 6 out of 10 for Isaac Smith. Might sound a little bit harsh, but I did think there was a little bit of rustiness in his game, which, look, it's obviously to be expected. He hasn't played any football. I think something like 26 minutes that he's played this season. But I do like the look from him. I do think he's a different option there. Look, for me, if you have everyone fit, it's definitely Firpo and Bogle is our starting fullbacks. But just in the case, exactly like what we're seeing against Blackburn, we're not putting an Ampadu out there. Someone that's a round peg and a round hole. Isaac Smith is more than capable of doing a job out there for me. So yeah, look, thought it was a good game for him, and I just hope now Daniel Farke can build on it for him, and I hope he starts giving him more minutes to build up his fitness into this team, because I do think that he should be used and he can be used and he will do a job in there for us. So yeah, 6 for Isaac Smith. Moving on to Pascal Struijk, who did start centre half. Some people were saying rest him after his injury. Other people were saying get him back in and get minutes. I was one of them to try and get him back in and playing games, because obviously he did miss the whole match, and a big miss for me. He came in. You could see by him, he didn't kind of overforce it. He just played a nice, calm game. He had the defence well organised for me. He mopped up everything that came his way. What Pascal Struijk does, very calm on the ball, organised the defence. I went to 7 out of 10 for Pascal Struijk, and you could just see in there, he's absolutely solid in the back line. He organised everything out. He really tried to help Gilavogi out. We will get on to him, who I thought didn't have the best of days. But yeah, Pascal Struijk was a 7 out of 10 for me. A good performance for him. Moving on to Gilavogi, just mentioned. He gave me kittens. During that game. I thought he was ropey. He didn't look like a centre half. He very, very much looked like a centre midfielder playing centre half. Love Gilavogi and all that. I don't want to see him play there again. If we go in the cup, whether it's Millwall or Dagenham Redbridge, if we go with him there again, fine. Look, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't want to see him there in the league. Absolutely not for me. I wouldn't mind if he's further up the pitch, just definitely not in that back line, because a couple of hairy moments from and could have possibly gave away a penalty as well. It's one of them could have been given. I personally don't think it was a penalty, but you have seen them given. So yeah, a couple of ropey moments from Gilavogi at the back. I went with a 5 out of 10. For me, just don't want to see him there again. But yeah, look, I think he brings a wealth of experience into the team in the dressing room. Overall, I still do think he was a decent signing. Definitely seems to be helping the younger kids in the background. But yeah, unfortunately for me, Gilavogi, not a great performance for him. So I went at 5 out of 10. Moving on to Sam Byram, who did start left back. And I was actually very surprised to see Byram start this game. I thought Daniel Farke might have rested him. Maybe we would have went Smith left full and then Bogle on the right. He didn't. He went with Sam Byram, which I thought was a bit of a strange one, especially with Fairport only building his fitness back up. I didn't think Byram would have got any minutes. But yeah, look at just a typical Byram performance for me. Won at any drills that he could. There was times where he looked a little bit acceptable in his defending, which isn't normally like him, and he didn't really give us a lot going forward as well. So I went to 6 out of 10 for Sam Byram. And for me, yeah, just a little bit off the usual kind of performance that you get from Sam Byram. He's usually kind of Mr. Consistent, defends well, gets forward well, always kind of gives you a 7, 8 out of 10 performance. Just felt like he dropped below that a little bit. Just, a few times in behind, he did kind of get caught in behind. But other than that, he done his job. So I went to 6 out of 10 for Sam Byram. Moving on to the two men in the middle of the park, our captain, Ethan Ampadu. I actually thought Ampadu was really, really good. A lot of people were saying they thought he was poor. I don't know if I've seen another game. I actually thought Ampadu was good. I thought it was one of them games where he had to be physical, and he was. He won a lot of his duels, put in a lot of tackles, mopped up when he could. He kind of did the dirty work, the unseen work, without really kind of pulling up any trees and kind of progressing us forward. But yeah, I thought he was decent. I went to 7 out of 10 for Ethan Ampadu. Yeah, again, some people said he didn't have a good game, but I thought he was physically good in there. He'd done his job as the defensive midfielder, won his tackles, and moved to play on. I thought Ampadu was good, and I'd rather see him in that defensive midfielder role, not in the centre back position for me. I don't think the centre back position suits Ethan Ampadu. I'd rather him in that defensive midfield role, especially away from home. I think he's so important to Leeds United. Moving on to Joe Rotwell. Joe Rotwell, he does what Joe Rotwell does, gets about the pitch. He got involved at times for me. He linked the play well. He got up and down. He was just constant running without really kind of creating anything kind of clear cut and really kind of getting himself involved in the game. But he did look very busy. So for me, I went to 6 out of 10 for Joe Rotwell. I do probably think our partnership going forward is going to be Ampadu doing the sitting and Tanaka a little bit further forward. I would like to see that. And then with the opportunity then of Joe Rotwell then coming on to change that game. So we do need that little kind of drive us up the pitch. He's a great option for me, Joe Rotwell. He's been outstanding this season. Moving on to Largie Ramazani, and I was very, very interested to see how he got on. I did say it before he got his injury that he was probably the best player for Leeds before he got injured. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. He looked dangerous. He done his defensive work, and yeah, he was a massive miss when he went off injured. It's good to see him getting back into the team, getting a couple of minutes, and I'm delighted that he got his goal as well. That'll do the world of confidence for Largie Ramazani. And I do think if we can just keep walking away a little bit like the Solomon situation, when Solomon first came back from injury, he looked like a little bit rusty up and down in games. I do think we're going to get that with Ramazani, but I do think if we can give him a couple of minutes, obviously he didn't play against Blackburn, didn't play against Hull, had to go a couple of minutes the other night against Harrogate Town and got his goal. I just want Daniel Farke to keep that going, keep giving him minutes, whether it's 20, 25 minutes, when things just really aren't going our way. I think he's a game changer, Largie Ramazani. For me, I went to 7 out of 10 for him, and he looks like he grew in confidence into the game as well, and I just do think we need to keep building on that with Largie Ramazani. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for him. Moving on to the man on the other side, Manar Solomon. again, lads, I'm running out of words to describe him. I think I've said it in all the player ratings videos. For me, he's been man of the match. He was absolutely outstanding again. He got the assist for the goal. He always looked to create. He always looked like a danger when he was getting on the ball. And even just his little touches, you could just see by him, he was a class above for me. So I went in 8 out of 10 for Manar Solomon. And again, for me, he was the Leeds United man of the match. I thought he was absolutely outstanding and probably has been, probably just about pips Dan James for me as our best winger this season. Really, really good. If we can keep him fit and keep him firing and keep him getting sharper and sharper, he's a real asset in this league, Manar Solomon. So yeah, an 8 out of 10 for him. Moving on to Willie Gnonto. Yeah, Willie Gnonto for me, and I think like a lot of people, a lot of Leeds fans that I've seen over the last couple of days, not very impressed with Willie Gnonto. He always looks lively. He always looks to get involved. He wants the ball to feet. He always trying to create and make things happen, but he just doesn't. He just seems to be lacking that little bit of quality at the minute. At times, I feel like he tries a little bit too hard. He's trying to score, himself rather than trying to play other players in. I just feel like he's trying too hard at times, and it's just not coming off for Willie Gnonto at the minute. I really think his performances have dipped. He hasn't really been consistent for Leeds United for as long as he's been here, and he's struggling a lot to kind of find them heights that we've seen of him in the Premier League and that expectation that was there from him. Last season, we got glimpses of him when he did come back into the squad after handing in his transfer request. There is a little bit of talk going around as well that there's a Saudi offer come from as well. Is that kind of in the background? I'm not too sure of that one, but yeah, I want to see more from Willie Gnonto again. Just not a good performance for me. Tries to get on it, but just he doesn't do enough. He needs to affect the game a lot more. For a player of his talent and his quality, he needs to be doing more for me. So I went to 6 out of 10 for Willie Gnonto. Moving on to Matteo Joseph, another player that was really looking forward to see. We obviously heard that Joe Pirro was carrying a little bit of a muscle injury, so this was very much one of them we all kind of had our eye on to see how he perform up top. We obviously know Patrick Bamford is injured now as well. So next in line is going to be Matteo Joseph. So we all kind of had an eager eye on Joseph to see how he would get on. For me, I thought he struggled to impact the game a lot. He tried to link up to play. He came short, balls around the corner. He'd one really, really good chance where good strike from outside the box, hit the post. He was very, very unlucky. I think if he scores that, it really does the world of good for his confidence. But other than that, I don't think he pulled up any trace for me. Matteo Joseph, I went to 6 out of 10 for him. And it probably just put that little bit of doubt in the Leeds fans' mind that we probably need to go out in the January window and maybe looking at another number 9. If Joe Pirro for me is injured for any kind of period of time, to try and hang our hat on Matteo Joseph for a long stint wouldn't be the best thing for Leeds United to do. So I would like us to see go do a 10 and a 9 as well. There is a couple of other positions people are saying kind of centre back and right back, but I do think it's going to further up that pitch where we're just kind of lacking at the minute. And I do think if we get an injury, Aronson as well, if we get an injury to Aronson as well, I really think we could be snookered. So yeah, let's hope the club can do bits there. Everyone else around us seems to be kind of moving in the market. Let's just hope that the 49ers are moving in silence and to get business done. Moving on to the substitutions then, and we did see the return of Junior Firpo, who did replace Sam Byram. It was great to see Junior Firpo. You can just see by him, he gives us that little bit of extra. Look, we've had this conversation before. In the Premier League is a totally different thing, but in the Championship, what Firpo gives you. He can get forward, he can create. And it was really, really good to see him back from injury, and he can definitely be an impact down that left-hand side. Obviously, the question mark still remains over Junior Firpo, where his future lies. He is free to speak to other clubs at the minute, so it will be interesting to see what way it goes. But I went to 7 out of 10 for Junior Firpo. Great to see him back in the squad, and he looked busy and he looked to impact the game from left-back as well. Really tried to do what Junior Firpo does and get in the overlap and get involved in the build-up play in the attacking area of the pitch. So yeah, delighted to see Junior Firpo back for Leeds United. Next up is Joe Rodon, who did replace Pascal Struijk. I was happy enough to see that because I didn't want to see Struijk, kind of play the whole game, especially after his injury. I was happy enough to see Struijk come on and replace them with the experience of Joe Rodon. He came on and he seemed to kind of mind Gilavogi a little bit more for me. You could kind of see him, he was talking to him, kind of pulling him aside, telling him what to do. I thought Gilavogi then was a little bit better than when Rodon came on. Maybe that was just kind of the way the game was going for me, but I went to 6 out of 10 for Joe Rodon. Didn't really have much to do, and anything he did have to do, he cleaned up, fairly well, and he mopped up for me. So I went to 6 out of 10 for Joe Rodon. Moving on to Dan James. Yeah, look, he looked very energetic when he came on. Dan James looked to impact the game. I'm really looking forward to see what his performance is going to be against Sheffield Wednesday, because I thought he really dipped against Blackburn. He was poor again against Hull, even though he got his goal. I thought he really didn't affect the game, not the usual kind of Dan James that we've come accustomed to see, pre-Christmas. I went to 7 out of 10 for Dan James. He was looking to get in behind all time. his pace as well was always going to be a threat to Harrogate. And as I said, yeah, he looked energetic and really wanted to impact the game. So I went to 7 out of 10 for Dan James. Moving on to El Tanaka, yeah, I love El Tanaka. I think like most Leeds United fans, it's always great to see him come onto the pitch. He didn't do anything spectacular, just kept the ball, nice little slick passing, and you can just see boy Tanaka. He's just for me, he's levels above, absolutely levels above. I went to 7 out of 10 for Tanaka, and yeah, I do think that partnership with Ampadu and Tanaka, I do think we'll see that in the coming weeks. Gruev is back in there now as well. It was great to see him come back into the Leeds United squad. We did kind of fear that was his season going to be over for Leeds United, but yeah, it's great to see him after coming back into the squad, and he gives us another little option now in midfield when he does get back up to speed. It is going to take him time to build back up the match fitness, but yeah, delighted to see him back in and gives us that another little option in the middle of the park, especially for away games as well, where we just need that little bit more. For me, I think he'd be great in there. So great to see Ilya Gruev back in the squad. Yeah, lads, so that is it for player ratings. A little bit different usually on the phone. I just said I'd do it on the old StreamYard this time. So yeah, a little bit easier for recording and editing and stuff like that. Quiet week ahead, which is strange for Leeds United. Myself and Dylan will be back on Saturday for the match build up against Sheffield Wednesday. And then we will be back on Sunday then for your watch along against Sheffield Wednesday. We will be live about 11:15, half 11, 11:15 for that one. So make sure you join us for that one. And again, guys, please don't forget to smash a like on the video, hit subscribe to the channel, and get your comments in as well. What you thought about the player ratings on my way off? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let us know, because these can kind of be controversial. You can have some people saying, "What's he talking about? He hasn't a clue. He's watching a different game," and other people will be like, "Yeah, I was spot on. I agree with that." So player ratings can kind of have that little bit of controversy in them. So let us know what you think anyway. We'll agree to disagree. Thanks very much, guys, and we'll chat to you all again soon. Have a good week.